We live in a world that tells us perfection is attractive. The perfect smile, the perfect outfit, the perfect words. But if you've ever truly fallen for someone, you know that's not how it works. What we love most in people are often the quirks, the flaws, and the little human moments that make them unique. Tonight, I want to share 7 imperfections that, far from pushing people away, actually make you more attractive. And I'll tell you stories, moments you'll recognize, that prove how powerful imperfection really is. 1. The nervous laugh picture. A first date at a cozy restaurant. The waiter has just handed over the menus, and the silence between two strangers feels a little heavier than expected. He asks her about her favorite movies, and as she answers, she stumbles over her words. A nervous laugh escapes her lips, quick, a little shaky. Most people would feel embarrassed, but he doesn't flinch. In fact, he smiles wider. Why? Because that nervous laugh told him something. She cares. She wants to make a good impression. She's real, not rehearsed. That kind of imperfection softens the atmosphere. Instead of two people trying to perform perfection, it becomes two people simply being human. Psychology shows us that vulnerability builds trust, and a nervous laugh is a tiny window into vulnerability. It says, I'm not perfect, and I don't need to be. And that honesty is deeply attractive. 2. The crooked smile. Think about the last time you saw someone smile in a way that wasn't perfect. Maybe one side curled higher than the other. Maybe it came out as a smirk rather than a grin. Imperfect smiles often carry more charm than perfect ones. There's a story of a woman who always hated her crooked smile. In photos, she would cover it up. But in real life, that was the very thing people adored. At a party, she laughed at a joke, her lips curving unevenly. A man across the room turned to his friend and whispered, "That smile just made my night." Why? Because crooked smiles look spontaneous. They feel real. A perfect practice smile can be beautiful, but it can also feel staged. The uneven, unpolished grin feels like a secret, something you're lucky enough to witness. And often it's the imperfect smile that stays etched in memory. 3. The occasional clumsiness. Imagine walking into a coffee shop, ordering a drink, and nervously spilling a little sugar on the counter. You laugh, brush it away, and the person next to you joins in the chuckle. That small moment of clumsiness creates warmth. There's a man who was giving a presentation at work. Everything was going perfectly, until he dropped his pen. He bent to pick it up, bumped his head on the desk, and the whole room laughed. Instead of shrinking in embarrassment, he laughed too. From that moment, the tension disappeared. People didn't see a flawless speaker, they saw someone they could relate to. Psychologists call this the pratfall effect. When competent people make small mistakes, they become more likable, not less. Clumsiness breaks the illusion of perfection and reminds people, you're just like me. And nothing is more attractive than someone who can laugh at themselves. 4. The unpolished honesty. Perfection in words may impress for a moment, but honesty, raw, unpolished honesty, creates connection. Think of a couple walking in the park. He asks her about her dreams, and instead of giving a polished, picture-perfect answer, she sighs and admits, honestly, I don't have it all figured out, sometimes I feel lost. He doesn't judge her. Instead, he feels closer to her because she just admitted what most people are afraid to say. There's a strange power in dropping the mask. When someone says, I don't know, or I'm nervous right now, it feels authentic. It makes the moment real. Words without polish are often words with truth, and truth is magnetic. Love doesn't grow in rehearsed scripts, it grows in messy conversations where honesty, even imperfect honesty, makes the heart feel safe. 5. The quirky habits. Everyone has quirks, and often the quirks are what we fall in love with. There's a story of a man who always mispronounced the word restaurant. His partner teased him endlessly for it, but over time that mistake became endearing. Another woman had the habit of humming when she cooked. She didn't even realize she did it until her partner pointed it out. Instead of being annoyed, he said, I love that you do that. It makes the house feel alive. Quirks are the fingerprints of our personality. They're the little things people miss when we're gone. What feels odd to you might be what makes you unforgettable to someone else. Perfection may impress, but quirks create memories. 6. The messy hair, the unplanned look. There's beauty in effort, but there's equal beauty in ease. Messy hair, smudged makeup, or mismatched clothes don't always take away from attraction, they often add to it. Picture someone running late, hair slightly tousled by the wind, cheeks flushed from rushing, and still walking in with a smile. That look, unpolished, unplanned, feels authentic. It shows comfort, humanity, and life in motion. A friend once confessed that his favorite memory of his partner wasn't when she was dressed up for a night out but when she was in sweats with messy hair laughing on the couch. That was the version of her he loved most, real, unfiltered, and comfortable in her own skin. Confidence doesn't come from perfection. It comes from being comfortable, even in imperfection. And that ease is magnetic. 7. The emotional cracks. Perhaps the most beautiful imperfection of all is emotional openness. Think of someone telling a story and suddenly their voice cracks. Maybe their eyes well up with tears, they try to blink away. In that moment, you don't see weakness. You see depth. There's a man who once said the first time he truly fell in love with his wife was not when she was laughing but when she cried in front of him. Her vulnerability told him she trusted him with her heart. We spend so much time trying to hold it together to look strong, but when we let the cracks show, when we admit, "This hurts," or "I'm afraid," we invite others to do the same. Attraction grows in honesty, and honesty is often found in our rawest, imperfect moments. So here they are, 7 imperfections that don't take away from your attractiveness but add to it. The nervous laugh, the crooked smile, the clumsy moment, the unpolished honesty, the quirky habit, the messy look, and the emotional cracks. These imperfections remind us that love isn't built on polished masks, it's built on realness, on the small, unplanned, unforgettable details that make us human. So the next time you worry about being perfect, remember this. What draws people closer to you isn't your flawless side, it's your imperfect, human one. Because at the end of the day, perfection may impress, but imperfection is what makes people stay. And if this message resonated, like and subscribe, let's rise higher.